Ever wonder why your coworker takes credit for your ideas or why your friend can't resist a good sale, even if they don't need the item? The answer lies in something fascinating: the laws of human nature. Today, we're diving into a book that will crack the code of human behavior, The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. This book isn't about boring psychology jargon. It's about understanding the unconscious desires and motivations that drive us all. You'll learn why we crave attention, why we're easily manipulated, and even why we sometimes sabotage our own success. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. By understanding these laws, you can become a master judge of character. No more getting fooled by fake friends. Navigate tricky social situations with ease. Office politics? Bring it on. Motivate yourself and others to achieve your goals. Finally, get that promotion. So are you ready to unlock the secrets of human behavior? Buckle up, Book Bites fam, because we're about to take a deep dive into the laws of human nature. 1. The Law of Irrationality. Is your feeling taking over thinking? Imagine this. You walk into a store needing a new pair of shoes. Suddenly, a bright red sign screams 50% off, limited time only. Your heart races, your hand reaches for that perfect pair, maybe a little too sparkly, and bam! You walk out with unnecessary glitter shoes, completely forgetting your sensible budget. This, my friends, is the Law of Irrationality in action. Here's the shocker. Turns out, our brains aren't always the logical decision-making machines we think they are. We're constantly bombarded by emotions, sneaky biases, and even subconscious influences that can hijack our judgment and lead us down some pretty irrational paths. Think about it. How many times have you skipped the gym because the couch felt too inviting, fear of exertion, or argued with a friend because you felt misunderstood, anger? Yep, those are all examples of the law of irrationality at play. Why does this happen? Our emotions are deeply ingrained in us, helping us navigate the world quickly and instinctively. However, they can also cloud our judgment, leading to snap decisions. We might make choices fueled by anger, excitement, or fear without fully considering the consequences. Confirmation bias. We favor information that confirms our existing beliefs, ignoring or downplaying evidence that contradicts them. So, how do we create a harmonious melody between logic and emotion? Here are some tips. Recognize your triggers. Identify situations or emotions that tend to make you irrational. Take a step back. When feeling overwhelmed by emotion, give yourself time to cool down before making a decision. Consider all angles. Seek out diverse perspectives and don't be afraid to challenge your own assumptions. The law of irrationality isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about acknowledging their power and finding ways to integrate them with our logical thinking. By understanding this law, we can make more balanced decisions and navigate life's complexities with greater clarity. 2. The Law of Narcissism. Are you addicted to attention? Ever feel the need to be the center of attention? Like your achievements are somehow bigger, better, and more brag-worthy than anyone else's? Welcome to the world of the Law of Narcissism. This law explores the concept of self-importance and how it can play out in our behavior. Now hold on a minute, because narcissism isn't just about fancy cars and social media oversharing, although that can be a part of it. We all have a natural desire for attention and validation. It's a normal human thing that helps us connect with others. But here's the twist. There's a spectrum of self-importance. Some people have an inflated sense of self-worth and crave constant admiration, while others struggle with low self-esteem and desperately seek validation to feel good. So, how can you navigate this law of narcissism? Here are some tips. Be a self-awareness superhero. Understanding your own need for validation is the first step. Are you constantly fishing for compliments? Do you downplay other people's achievements? Recognizing these tendencies is key to managing them in a healthy way. Ditch the one-man show and build a real team. True friendships and relationships are built on mutual respect and support, not just one person needing constant admiration. Focus on connecting with others in a genuine way, and you'll find a more fulfilling sense of connection. Level up your awesomeness. Find things you're passionate about and develop your talents and interests. When you're rocking your own skills and hobbies, your confidence and self-esteem get a natural boost, and the need for external validation lessens. By understanding the law of narcissism, you can develop a healthy sense of self-worth and build stronger, more meaningful relationships with the people around you. Now go forth and conquer this law, but maybe do it as part of a supportive team, not a one-person spotlight show. 3. The law of role-playing. Are you watching a reality show or real life? Imagine this. You see your coworker crushing it at a karaoke night, belting out high notes and rocking the mic. But then, in a meeting the next day, they're quiet as a mouse. What gives? Welcome to the world of the law of role-playing. This law basically says we all wear different masks depending on the situation. Think of it like having a costume closet for your personality, a cool dude jacket for friends, a serious blazer for work, and maybe comfy pajamas for family time. Why do we do this? It's all about fitting in, feeling comfortable, or even making a good impression. You might be a social butterfly with your friends, but a bookworm in class. Both versions of you are real, just suited for different settings. But here's the catch. Sometimes these roles can get a little too dramatic. Social media superstar, shy IRL. Ever seen someone with a picture-perfect online life who clams up in person? Yeah, that's the law of role-playing in action. So how do we navigate this law? Here are some tips. Check your own closet. Are you always playing a part, or can you be comfortable in your own skin? Reflect on how you adjust your behavior and strive for authenticity whenever possible. Become a body language detective. People don't always say what they truly mean. Watch for nonverbal cues like fidgeting, eye contact, or changes in tone. These can reveal what's really going on behind the mask. Don't believe everything you see or hear. People might downplay their struggles or brag a little too much to fit a certain image. Be mindful and don't take everything at face value. By understanding the law of role-playing, you can become a master decoder of social situations. You'll build more genuine connections by seeing through the acts and connecting with the real people behind the masks. So, ditch the one-size-fits-all costume and embrace your authentic self in every interaction. For the law of compulsive behavior, are you stuck on repeat? Ever feel like you're stuck in a hamster wheel of habits? Scrolling through social media mindlessly, hitting the snooze button one too many times, or reaching for that extra slice of cake? We've all been there. This, my friends, is the law of compulsive behavior in action. This law explains our tendency to repeat actions, good or bad, almost on autopilot. We all form habits, from the morning coffee ritual to the evening Netflix binge. But sometimes, these habits can take a turn for the worse, becoming unhelpful compulsions. Why do we do it? There are a few reasons. The reward trap. Our brains love the feel-good chemicals released during certain activities, like the dopamine rush from social media likes or the temporary comfort of sugary snacks. This can keep us hooked on repeating those behaviors. Stress busters, that backfire. Sometimes, we turn to bad habits as a way to cope with stress, like mindlessly scrolling through news feeds. While it might offer a temporary escape, it doesn't actually address the root cause of the stress. The comfort of routine. Familiar patterns, even unhealthy ones, can feel safe and comforting. It's like wearing that old, worn-out t-shirt. Even if it's got holes, it's familiar. So how do we break free from the law of compulsive behavior? The key is awareness. Catch yourself in the act. The first step is recognizing your automatic tendencies. Are you a chronic phone checker? A late-night snacker? Once you identify these patterns, you can start to interrupt them. Unmask the why. Understanding the root cause of your compulsive behavior is crucial. Are you seeking a reward, managing stress, or simply clinging to routine? Replace, don't deprive. Don't just ditch the bad habit cold turkey. Find a healthier alternative that satisfies the same underlying need. Feeling stressed? Try meditation instead of mindless scrolling. By understanding the law of compulsive behavior, you can take control of your habits and build a life filled with routines that truly support your well-being. So, ditch the hamster wheel and create a path towards positive habits that empower you, not control you. 5. The Law of Covetousness, the curse of keeping up with the Joneses. Ever scroll through social media and feel a pang of jealousy? See someone's picture-perfect vacation and suddenly crave a trip yourself? That, my friends, is the law of covetousness in action. This law explores our deep-seated human desire for things we don't have. It's that constant itch to have the latest gadget, the dream vacation everyone's talking about, or the seemingly perfect life portrayed online. But what drives this covetousness? The comparison trap. We compare ourselves to others, and suddenly that new car they just bought makes our reliable old ride feel outdated. Social comparison is a thief of joy, leaving us wanting more. The greener grass illusion. We often imagine someone else's life is better, filled with endless adventures and happiness. But the truth is, everyone has their struggles. We're all just posting the highlight reel. The thrill of the chase. Sometimes the desire to obtain something new is more exciting than actually having it. It's like the chase is more fun than catching the prize. So how do we break free from the law of covetousness? Gratitude is your best friend. Take time to appreciate the things you already have, big or small. A grateful heart is a happy heart, and less susceptible to envy. Chart your own course. Instead of chasing what others have, define your own goals and aspirations. What do you truly want to achieve? Focus on that, and the covetousness will lose its power. Ditch the Joneses. Social media can be a breeding ground for comparison. Limit your exposure to unrealistic portrayals of happiness and focus on your own journey. By understanding the law of covetousness, you can cultivate contentment and stop falling victim to the keeping up with the Joneses mentality. Remember, true happiness comes from appreciating what you have and pursuing your own unique path, not someone else's. 6. The The law of short-sightedness. Don't get stuck in a tunnel vision trap. Imagine this. You're on a delicious donut bender, savoring every sugary bite. But a tiny voice whispers, maybe you shouldn't have that third one. That voice, my friends, is trying to warn you about the law of short-sightedness. This law basically says we sometimes get stuck in the present moment, chomping down on those metaphorical donuts without considering the future consequences. We might skip studying for a test because the exam seems ages away, or splurge on a fancy gadget without thinking about the long-term impact on our budget. So how do we avoid this short-sightedness trap? Here are some tips. Play the long game. Before making a decision, take a step back and consider how it might affect you down the line. Will that extra donut sabotage your fitness goals? Will that impulsive purchase leave you scrambling to pay the bills? Think beyond the now. Don't just focus on the immediate gratification. Consider potential downsides you might be overlooking. That new game might be fun, but will it leave you neglecting other priorities? Chart your course. Setting clear goals and working towards them keeps the bigger picture in mind. When you know where you're headed, it's easier to make choices that move you in the right direction, not just satisfy a fleeting urge. By understanding the law of short-sightedness, you can become a master strategist of your own life. You'll make choices that benefit you in the long run, not just in the heat of the moment. So ditch the tunnel vision and embrace the power of seeing the bigger picture. You'll thank yourself later, and your future self might send you a big, non-sugary thank you note too. 7. The law of defensiveness, when feedback turns into a fight. Ever offer someone constructive criticism only to be met with a brick wall of defensiveness? That, my friends, is the law of defensiveness in action. This law explains our natural tendency to resist being told we're wrong or that our ideas have flaws. It can make offering feedback or having productive conversations feel like navigating a minefield. Here's the secret. People are much more receptive to ideas when they feel their opinions are valued. So, how do we navigate the law of defensiveness and soften that resistance? Acknowledge their world. Show the person you understand their perspective, even if you disagree. A simple phrase like, "That's an interesting point," can go a long way in disarming defensiveness. Collaboration is key. Instead of presenting your ideas as replacements, frame them as ways to build on what they already have. This fosters collaboration, not competition. Create a safe space. When people feel attacked or judged, their defenses go up. By fostering a calm and respectful environment, you encourage open-mindedness and receptiveness. By understanding the law of defensiveness, you can turn potentially explosive situations into productive conversations. Remember, the goal isn't to win an argument, but to share ideas and learn from each other. So ditch the defensiveness grenades and embrace the power of collaboration. You'll be surprised at how much more effective your communication becomes. 8. The law of self-sabotage. Why do we become our own worst enemy? Have you ever felt like you're on the verge of achieving a goal, then bam! You hit a wall you built yourself? Welcome to the strange world of the law of self-sabotage. This law explores that sneaky voice inside our heads, the one whispering doubts and anxieties, holding us back from reaching our full potential. It might show up as procrastination, that voice telling you just 5 more minutes on social media before you start working. Or maybe it's negative self-talk, a constant barrage of, "I can't do this," before you even try. But why do we sabotage ourselves? There can be a few reasons. Fear of failure. Sometimes, the fear of striking out is so strong that we subconsciously create obstacles to avoid the possibility of falling flat on our faces. The imposter syndrome. A nagging voice might whisper that we don't deserve success, or that we're just a fraud about to be exposed. The comfort zone trap. Change can be scary, and sometimes we cling to the familiar, even if it means staying stuck because it feels, well, safe, even if it's not exactly comfortable. So how do we silence this self-sabotaging voice and become our own cheerleaders instead? Here are some tips. Catch yourself in the act. The first step is recognizing those negative thought patterns. When that inner critic pipes up, take a breath and challenge those thoughts. Are they realistic? Are they helpful? Progress over perfection. Stop chasing the elusive, perfect version of yourself. We all make mistakes. That's part of being human. Focus on making progress, no matter how small, and celebrate those little wins along the way. Squad up for success. Surround yourself with positive people who believe in you and your dreams. A strong support system can be the antidote to self-doubt and can help you overcome those internal obstacles. By understanding the law of self-sabotage, you can identify your own self-defeating patterns and develop strategies to overcome them. Remember, you are your own biggest cheerleader. So, silence the negativity, embrace progress, and watch yourself reach your full potential. 9. The law of repression, unlocking the secrets of your shadow self. Have you ever felt like you're a perfectly put-together person, but then bam! You lose your cool over something seemingly trivial? This, my friends, is the law of repression in action. This law delves into the fascinating concept of the shadow self, those hidden corners of your personality you might not even be aware of. These shadows can harbor negative emotions, insecurities, or even desires that we subconsciously push down because they don't fit the image we want to project. But how do these hidden aspects affect us? Sometimes they leak out in unexpected ways. Emotional explosions, those sudden outbursts of anger or frustration, they might be a sign of deeper unaddressed emotions simmering beneath the surface. Unexplained fears. Ever been terrified of something seemingly harmless like clowns or butterflies? There could be a connection to a repressed childhood fear you haven't dealt with. The projection game. Do you find yourself constantly criticizing others for things you wouldn't dream of admitting about yourself? Classic projection, pointing the finger at others for what we struggle with ourselves. So how do we shed light on these shadows and become more well-rounded individuals? Embrace self-awareness. Understanding the law of repression is the first step. By acknowledging the existence of your shadow self, you can start to explore its contents. Befriend your shadow. Don't be afraid of what you might find in the shadows. Those hidden aspects are often a part of what makes you human. Instead of fearing them, try to understand them. Shine a light. Therapy, journaling, or even creative outlets like art or music can help you bring those hidden aspects into the light, allowing you to integrate them into your whole self. By understanding the law of repression, you can unlock the secrets of your shadow self and become a more self-aware, well-rounded individual. Remember, embracing your whole self, even the shadowy parts, is the key to personal growth and authenticity. So don't be afraid to explore the darkness. You might be surprised by what you find.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Book Bites Club for more deep dives into impactful books. And share this video with anyone who you think could benefit. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing.